And I think working with great doubt and bringing this question right to the moment actually shakes things up enough to wake us up. This waking up that Buddhism is about, it's not really, I wake up one time and then I'm done. It's waking up moment after moment after moment after moment. Where I said earlier, the relative world is not bad. But the truth of the matter is we can so easily get lost in it, and then we believe our viewpoint as fact. And great doubt shakes us out of that. So a lot of what we're doing in this meditation hall is, number one, getting more and more and more familiar with the way we hold on to things. And I would add that simultaneously, we're learning to bring great doubt to our observations. And for me, a lot of that certainly happens here, but I watch for it in the rest of my life. A few months ago, in my story, I was talking with my nephew and his wife, who have a 3-month-old baby and a 2-year-old toddler. And again, my story. They told me that their pediatrician told them that it takes about 3 months for the baby to learn how to manipulate the parent to get what it wants. And to me, this was golden. This was great information, because it shows how easily and how early we learn how to manipulate our environment and in many ways change ourselves. Before 3 months, they said, the pediatrician told them, if the kid's crying, you guys got to figure out why the kid's crying, because it's crying for a reason. After 3 months, you can't be sure, because the kid learns to manipulate. You probably heard me use this in a Dharma talk. So a week or two ago, I was with my nephew and his wife, and I mentioned this, and they looked at me like I was crazy. We never told you that. And I thought, of course you did. And I said, no. And if only my nephew had said it, I might have been able to make a case. But his wife was standing right there, and she said, no, we never heard this from our pediatrician. And the funny thing is, even now as I'm telling you this story, I really don't believe they didn't tell me. Because it's so clear in my mind that they told me. And I've really kind of racked my brain to figure out who else might have told me. So the first thing I did was go to the internet to check the fact, because not only have I used it in this room, I used it in Mexico a few weeks ago, and I've used it in the Dharma talks and other places. I thought, geez, I better check what's going on. So the closest I could see on the internet was actually the consensus seems to be it takes 6 months for this to happen, not 3 months. So the principle's still the same, but the timing is a little bit different. But I think my point is how easy it is. I mean, somebody did tell me this, because I didn't have this independent knowledge, and really the only piece is who told me. So if anybody here told me, please let me know, because I can sleep a lot easier. But how easy it is to just create some idea and then believe it. And I don't know about you, but I've had enough arguments with friends or with my wife where she can, let's stay with my wife for a second, she can pretty much convince me that I'm wrong about something. But because I believe it so strongly, even if you can she presents evidence, just like with my nephew and his wife, there's still the part of me that doesn't believe it, because it's my experience, right? And so there are so many opportunities for us to get shaken out of our certainty. But what I'm telling you here is two things. One, I really depend on my everyday life to shake me up, because that shaking up helps me wake up. That's great doubt. I was wrong. I didn't really have it quite right. And if I can really recognize that, and I've seen it enough times now, that I know it to be true. So I can bring that to my certainty, and I can use that to practice. Ordinarily, most of us don't like to be found out that we're wrong. We try to present this face to the world that we're right, we've got it all together, we've got it figured out, we got this handled. But actually, that's a killer for our practice. Because our practice is trying to point us towards believing in ourselves completely, but that's not about our ideas and beliefs and opinions. There's something deeper that we believe in. So simultaneously believing our experience and recognizing that we don't know.